Good day, Nicolas Busque, science teacher in Valcourt, Quebec. I'm actually Brittany's science teacher right now. I'm going to talk to you about the Cubic Energy Challenge. The Cubic Challenge has been running. This is our second year, so I find it really cool that you guys are taking part in the project with us. I'm going to be explaining how the project works. The project is going to be set on 7 days, so it's going to start on Monday, or Monday to Sunday. That's a full week, 7 days. Friday being Earth Day. So while you guys are doing that in Saskatchewan, we're going to be doing the same thing in Quebec. We're going to be using the same calendar as you guys. This is the calendar, and we're going to be also using a scoring. Where's my scoring stuff? That's not. There we go. That's my scoring system. So I'm going to be talking about both of those. So I'm starting with the calendar. The calendar is very simple. The calendar is set up in 7 days and in 4 different fields. First field being walk or bike to school. I'll just scooch over. Walk or bike to school, shorter showers, more veggies, buying local. So the way the system is going to be set up, it's very simple. Say, for example, we talk about walking to school. So on the other sheet, which is this one, you're going to see that the 4 fields are explained with a green, yellow, red light, like on the highway, on the road. Green being great for the environment, yellow being okay for the environment, red being not so good or not good at all. So say, for example, you set up the program in a primary school. Kids really enjoy using colors and stuff like that. And even high school students enjoy using colors. But usually what we're doing is we're picking up cubics. Cubics are our unit of measurement for greenhouse gases that are actually reduced. So say, for example, a cubic is actually 1 kilogram. It's an approximate weight of greenhouse gas. So we're trying to make a difference, and to make a difference at school, that's what we're doing at our school. And what we're trying to do is to export that project at home. So say, for example, the easiest one I think is walking or biking to school. That's a great way to get cubic. So say, for example, you walk to school. So walk to school is 3 cubic, like you see right here. I know this is all in French, but we're going to do an English version so you'll be able to understand it. So say, for example, I walk to school or I take my bike to school, which is great for. So I've got 3 cubics. So I go back to my calendar right here. So say, for example, it's Monday. You know, Mondays are rough, but hey, you're going to have this big square, which is divided in 4 smaller squares. The top square, the top left-hand square, is going to be your square. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to put right there your score. So say, for example, you're going to put a 3 there because that's your score. Say, for example, your sister also walks to school. You would put a 3. But say, for example, your mom and dad both work and they both use a car. So say, for example, you've got 2 cars at home. Well, your mom would get a 0 and your dad would get a 0 because they're not carpooling. So that would change. But say, for example, your mom carpools with people from work. Well, she would get a 1. Say, for example, your dad works from home. Well, you'd put a 3. So that would be your Monday for walking. That's how you would set it up. Say, for example, you take the bus. The bus is way better than using your car, but it's still polluting. So say, for example, you don't have the option of walking or biking. Well, you would go, say, for example, you'd start Monday, take the bus, so you would put a 1. Say, for example, your sister, which is not in the same school as you, walks to school. Well, she would get a 3. So that way you would do the whole thing all the way down to the weekend. On the weekend, you don't really go anywhere. You don't go to school. Well, actually, you're going to either use the car or walk or take the transit. I don't know if it's a possibility in your town. But say, for example, you want to see some friends. Well, instead of taking the car or asking your parents to drive you, you walk. You take your bike. So that way, that's the way you can score some points on Saturday and Sunday. Let's not forget that Friday is Earth Day, so let's try to make the difference. The other one is a shorter shower. Shorter shower is actually going to be something that's tough. every minute that you spend in the shower, you're using up 0.3 kilowatt hour of energy. That's a lot of energy. The challenge here, which is for me a harder challenge, is going to, if you take a shower that's less than 5 minutes, you get 3 cubics. If it's less than 10 minutes, you get 1 cubic. If it's more than 10 minutes, you get 0 cubics. So let's go back to our calendar. Shower. So say, for example, Monday you take 8-minute shower. So it's between 5 and 10. So you put a 1 here. Say, for example, your sister takes a shorter shower. She would put a 3. Say, for example, she takes it like 4 minutes and 59 seconds. She put a 3. Say your mom's saying, I'm not taking a shorter shower. So good with that. She takes 12 minutes in the shower. She put a 0. And say, for example, you got your dad not at home, not using, say, for example, he's away on travel or something. Well, you put a 3, or you wouldn't put anything. Say, for example, you've got younger siblings, younger brothers or sister that take a bath every other day. Well, the day that they're not taking a bath or a shower, they would take a 3. Let's make sure that we understand here. I had some problem with some teacher telling me that kids didn't want to take their bath. That's not what I'm saying. Is that, say, for example, each and every day, primary kids skip a bath maybe every other day. So that the day they're not taking, they would take a 3. Other category is eating more veggies, eating less red meat. Right now, eating red meat is a big polluter. Eating a kilogram of meat, you'll need to have an expenditure of energy that's 90 kilowatt hour of energy. It's using a lot of water. It's a lot of resources that are put into having 1 kilogram of protein. Don't get me wrong. I love my red meat. I think it's not eating no red meat whatsoever. I'm saying it's eating less red meat. So say, for example, having 3 cubics for this one is easy. You have to have 2 meals that are vegetarians. Like 2 meals, that's hard. Well, usually your breakfast is vegetarian. You're not eating bacon and eggs every day. I hope so. So say, for example, you take some cereal and an orange juice and some toast. Well, everything you're eating is vegetarian. So that's 1 meal. So you just need to have either your lunch or your supper. So say, for example, you cook, or you help your mom cook, or your dad, and say instead of having a stir fry with chicken, well, you add some tofu. So you just season it up. It's going to be the same amount of protein. It's cheaper. It's better for your health. So that way you'd get your 3 cubics for the day. Say, for example, you're eating chicken or fish. Chicken and fish are less harmful for the environment because they take less resource per kilogram. So eating fish and chicken is good. Eating a vegetarian meal is better. Eating red meat is going to be something that's not good for the environment. It's not as good. So say, for example, Friday you want to have some steak. Go ahead, have some steaks, but not try to reduce the amount of red meat you eat every day. The last one is buying local. I know this video is long. Buying local. Every time that food is traveling, we're using up, we're actually producing greenhouse gas. So right now, what we're trying to do is reducing the transportation time. So say, for example, I look back at my calendar. The buying local for me, I find is the hardest one because you need to be aware of what's going on during the grocery. Say, for example, you go with your parents grocery shopping on Tuesday and your parents are actually buying stuff. And what's happening is that if they buy, the majority of the stuff is locally grown. I know in the spring there's not as much as some local markets and stuff like that, but you've got some material that's been locally grown. If the majority, say for example, you take your milk, say for example, you take your bread, say for example, everything that's been grown in your province, you take 3 cubics. It's a green light, which is awesome. Say for example, you shop around and you need to get some red peppers. You need to buy some salad. You need to buy some vegetables that are not grown in Saskatchewan. If it's grown in North America, you'd get a yellow. If the problem is if the majority of the stuff you buy is produced outside of North America, say for example China, India, Europe, South America, Africa, you would put a 0. So that that score is going to be hard to manage, but I think you guys are going to do it. So this is my video. I'll listen to it and see how it sounds. I know it's long, so if you have any question, I'll put some links after the video so you can contact me. Thanks.